We've already had our taste of action today, and that would have been Navi taking on FaZe. FaZe Clan coming out on top, and that does propel them forward in this bracket. Now, things are not simply as settled as that. We need to look at the North American side of things. One thing that my crew, or at least I, haven't been able to do this entire time. And I'm going to get to watch one of my favorite teams, Liquid, taking on Gen.G. We're going to be doing it with Christine and Maniac, and I cannot wait to get a taste of North American Counter-Strike in all its glory.
Hello.
North America, right? Hello, hello. Yeah, I mean, Team Liquid, America's team, America's #1 team, coming in hot. I mean, last week, the first week of DreamHack Masters, we saw a different kind of Liquid, a Liquid that I know none of us really wanted to see, but it's the Liquid going through a bit of an identity crisis. We heard Stewie, he's now the in-game leader, taking over that role from Nitro, and it kind of makes sense, right? I mean, it makes sense for Stewie, the game sense fanatic to kind of take on that role, and it hasn't paid off quite yet, Trace.
Hold on. Stewie's IGL right now? Where was I for all these weeks? What did happen?
Yeah, where have you been, Maniac? We've been wondering. It's like you were gone in a flash, and then, you know, all of a sudden we pointed and there you were.
I'm caught off guard.
Let's take a look at these brackets, though, because right now it's the real conversation about Furia and what they've done there, but they're not even in this best of 3. In fact, they're waiting. They're waiting for their chance to play again, because so far so good for Furia, just to catch everyone up to pace with North America. Now we look at Liquid and Gen.G, and this one I would normally say, okay, Liquid's got it easy in the bag, but I don't necessarily think that's the case. Let's start talking about Liquid, some of their woes.
Well, I mean, I'm looking at the results right now. But obviously, first of all, I'm starting to realize I'm late on the train, realizing Stewie is actually the IGL. Hold on, Crisis is actually worse than I expected. Just looking at some of the results, and there is a lot of bread in the past few weeks, and some of these results are problematic. I mean, you drop BO3 to Chaos, you drop a BO3 to Cloud9, you get smacked 0-2 against Furia, you lose another one of these best of 3, you lose to Envy, and no disrespect to them, God knows I love some of these players, but you lose 16-7, maybe BO3, so I'm not exactly sure what is up with Liquid. They might have been hit really, really hard by this forced transition that we had from offline to online Counter-Strike. And I would be of one idea that some of the top players, some of the top teams are actually the one being hit the hardest when it comes to moving from offline to online. And it seems like that's the case with Liquid.
And it's strange too, Christine, because we talk about a team Liquid that did make a legacy, a namestay on LAN. Now that transition online is something that hasn't been friendly to everyone. Do you feel like that this is an example of that?
This is absolutely an example of that. And I think it's why they've leaned into Stewie to be their in-game leader. As I mentioned, he's got that game intuition. I mean, think back. This is the OG smoke criminal, right? So he definitely has a read in the game, and he kind of understands where the holes are, and it's completely his playstyle. But transitioning that and kind of echoing that towards his teammates and collectively becoming successful, that's kind of not what we've been seeing from this Liquid. We've seen NAF kind of struggling to transition into this system that Stewie's building. We've seen Nitro even struggling to transition of not having that in-game leadership role. His op, it's been a little bit sloppy, but again, it's kind of growing pains for this Liquid, which is not something I ever expected to say of America's #1 team.
Or Liquid, just growing, not even the team, not even like esports as a whole. That'd be like a whole nother problem to have on our palette that is already 2020. Let's go ahead and hear from the Liquid side themselves and see what they've got to say.
I think the Chaos played better than us on the other two maps. And yeah, I think we kind of just fell flat. I think it was just an underwhelming team effort. That's it. I think, I mean, our communication was there. I mean, we just didn't play like good individually. That's it.
And so the same. They've maintained that one-man edge. Now the spray from the top of the box works out well. 2 versus 2. Steel on the cusp of the smoke. Trying not to be spotted. And oh, so damn tight. Twist down to 14 HP. A single player left. Bolting over into the corner. Loses his head.
I think versus Furia, I mean, we played really well. Like, we prepared for like Vertigo. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we won like 16-8. We're pretty happy with that win. I mean, they're just a hard team to play against.
Might have Mini. He gets shot in the back just a moment later, but Snap's going to give them no moment to breathe. They try to throw up that wall of smokes. Vinny trying to catch him. Now, oh, no way!
Versus MBR, I mean, I think we were preparing to pick Overpass, and then they picked it, and then they're notoriously like pretty rough on Inferno. So we just picked the second map that we would have picked. And then yeah, I mean, we're always confident for versus MBR.
Dewey and Tarek played for the Brazilians. is definitely going to help Team Liquid as they double up on the long presence and have another man right behind the dice. He has to reload, and he gets that fresh mag in for peeks the smoke and falls because of it. He's going to try and walk forward here. Gen.G goes for the peek and loses out in the clutch. That's Team Liquid on the board.
I mean, we've just been playing like normally, so I don't think there's anything special that we have to do for Gen.G. I mean, just another like NA team. We haven't really scrimmed them that much lately. Neither team kind of knows what we're gonna do or what map we're gonna pick. And yeah, I mean, we went over like the maps like a little bit. I mean, we're still just focusing on us. If you're a Team Liquid fan, be there and please support us and watch. Thank you.
Wow, Twist, you really know how to ring in the Liquid fans right there, make them a believer of the project. No, I'm kidding. I don't think that helped the case at all. And honestly, I do hate to hear it, but I do have some faith in young Stuart 2K, a youthful Stuart, but not so youthful anymore. In fact, a major champion. Just to remind everybody out there that the Boston Major did happen. So if we look at that, we look at the pedigree, Stewie could have been, would have been, maybe now even is the candidate to run that team, to steer that ship forward. But of course, for the other side, when we talk about Gen.G, when we make a stint about what's going on within their camp, this is a team that hasn't just laid down silently either. We saw them dominate in Anaheim, and ever since then, what have we gotten a piece of?
Well, I feel like this Gen.G lineup, on the contrary to Liquid, are not in the middle of like a chaotic storm or whatever. No, they're actually functioning exactly like they're supposed to, but we are seeing some limits. To me, that's the term that I want to keep in mind when it comes to Gen.G, because they definitely have some heavy hitters. They have a roster that is quite deep. They have the fundamentals down. That is one of the benefits of having that team lineup. You will always have a game that is structured and that is rightfully so, but the problem is, there seem to be some limits. There seems to be a ceiling that they cannot go through right now. I see them having good games. I see them having bad games. There is also the question of who will be that superstar in the lineup, because many players can do it. Some bring in the double AWP. Obviously, Bentet is the candidate, or Thematic is. But when everyone is, then really no one is. And that's one of the issues.
But really, I think the question on everyone's mind is sort of like, if you look at this lineup, you say Kusta versus Yugi, who wins?
Who's saying that, Trace? I'm going to say Kusta wins that hands down 10 out of 10 times, because he's been the man that kind of has been gelling this whole unit together, whether he's entering, lurking, or just kind of clutching out the rounds. Kusta's been that consistent factor, and I think that's really important for this Gen.G squad to kind of enable Som, enable Bentet, and really enable Automatic to have a good game, because that's what's been lacking on this Gen.G side, is these three heavy hitters, the superstars that were picked up to be the stars on this squad, haven't shown up collectively. They've shown us brilliance individually here and there, spread out across a bunch of different series, but collectively they haven't yet shown us a dominant Gen.G that can actually be a contender to steal away the spot from Liquid.
Yeah, and they're certainly aiming for it. And that's the one thing that we can't lose sight of. And certainly they aren't losing sight of it either. In fact, they've got a few words to say before we head into this matchup.
To be honest, the 100 Thieves match was just kind of off. I think we had just taken a short break, and so we were coming back pretty cold. We definitely should have won train. I think we lost a few ecos, and yeah, we lost.
Bentet removed 5v2. Som and Daps. Okay. Oh my goodness. Already almost back to the even keel. Som tapping for the head, gets it done. He's on for the...
We just had a better start against EG on train. Second map, Inferno. We have a few problems that we're still trying to figure out, and so that was a good insight on what we need to work on. And Vertigo, we've never played in a match before, so that was also interesting to play, and we managed to win, so that's good.
Good. Breeze just doesn't let off the gas pedal, comes in on the flank. Som is able to come back and recuperate it, but Breeze going to be exchanging smokes, beats the flashbang, walks into Breeze, and takes him down. So it's the second for Kusta.
Against Cloud9, it was pretty similar on both maps. They would just dump a ton of nades somewhere and make it hard to clear, so I think we just need to play a little bit faster. Our T side was good on train, and it was pretty good on Dust 2, so it just came down to CT sides.
Oh my goodness, unreal scenes here. Let's see, we're right back at it in the B bomb site. Automatic's had enough. Now that's from Daps, also finding a headshot. He's gonna have to peek into Automatic, and if he doesn't, Daps comes upper. So yeah, Automatic's got fragged.
Going up against Liquid, we just prepare by watching their demos and coming up with kind of a small game plan and things that we think are gonna work. Daps and Elma Putty talk about that a lot before the game, and so that's what we have going in. normal amount of preparation, I guess. I just hope it's gonna be a fun match.
And as cool as this Gen.G project seems, I think the coolest dude over there has got to be Bentet, something that is kind of like a precious gem that they even have over on Gen.G. What do we know about this young man?
Well, I mean, for the longest time, it was about free Bentet, right? When we were still playing over on Asia, everyone wanted to have him come either to Europe or to ANA whatsoever, but finally we have him. We have him, and I think I'm a little bit underwhelmed so far. Like, he hasn't delivered to the extent that we were hoping he would, because he had this tendency to just take over games completely and win clutches, opening kills, do whatever in the game. Now he's part of a system. Maybe he has a little bit less space, but we haven't yet to see this superstar mega performance from Benton. I'm still waiting. It hasn't been there yet, and I'm not exactly sure if it's gonna come.
Yeah, and you know, oddly enough, when I talked about like winning majors and who has the pedigree to kind of like run the ship and steer it, there's another one of those guys in the server. He happens to be on the Gen.G side, a former teammate there of Stewie, and Automatic. Now that's a guy that we could talk about all day, but I think the maps are much more important anyway. We know what Timtaw's up to. We know what he's able to do in the server, but I want to talk about the maps, the map vetoes, and where we can kind of expect to see this one play out. Christine?
You know, I think we can expect Liquid to go ahead and veto out that train, which kind of punishes Gen.G because train and Gen.G, that's the map that they always lean into. So this veto is already going to start out strong for Liquid. Gen.G, they're certainly going to veto out that overpass. Now, the interesting part here is Liquid, they're either going to probably pick Dust 2 or Inferno. Inferno only because that's the map that they feel the most comfort on, but Dust 2 would absolutely be a punish pick against Gen.G here. And Gen.G, I'm sure they're going to lean towards that Mirage because that's what they usually tend to do.
Yeah, and oddly enough, Christine, I think that you are onto something right there, but it doesn't even end right there, right? So we still have to have a decider, and I think that leaves up for kind of a discussion, like, will we see Vertigo in this series? My answer is yes, but is it?
We could. I honestly don't see any teams really taking it off. I mean, it would be some sort of a gamble, and if I'm Liquid, I'm not sure I want to leave Daps the opportunity to trick me on Vertigo because they'll have the preparation, they'll have the tricks here and there. So if I'm in the Liquid's camp right now, I just push Vertigo aside and I stay on a more neutral camp, but we will see. We'll see. Maybe they decide to take the gamble of Vertigo. I'm not exactly sure. I feel like you have the answer, Tris, already.
I do have the answer, but I want to see the maps picked. I want to see those flying out and actually just seeing what the first two maps of the series are. I can tell you right away that they're going to be Mirage and Dust 2. So, Christine, congratulations. You get an A+ on your homework. And just let's just start talking about it right there then. If we know the first map is Mirage, we know that it is picked from the side of Gen.G with a Liquid CT start. That's what we know. Let's go off of that right now, maybe.
I don't feel so well. If I'm a Gen.G fan right now, I'm having some sweat behind the knees, to be honest, because Mirage is actually one of the maps that Liquid, under the knees, exactly, you know, the famous one.
Yeah, I was just checking.
You never know. Liquid used to pick them out, I think, 33% of the time. Mirage is actually their first pick. They have a very decent win rate on it. And when you think about Liquid and you think about Mirage, I see flashes of brilliance. I know this is a map that they can play, definitely. I don't see it as a punish at all. I think, unfortunately, for Gen.G, their map will kind of collide a little bit with Liquid, and I don't really see where they can trick them. So you end up with pushing the superstar team on a map they're comfortable on. So it's going to be a tough time for Gen.G.
I think the word you're looking for is yikes. Or did we leave that one in 2019? I don't really know. Let's take a look at the bands and then the deciding map, which, believe it or not, is going to be Vertigo. So there you have it. There's your answer. It's not like I knew the whole time, but I did know the whole time. And now we know the full extent of the series: Mirage, Dust 2, and Vertigo. Let's really craft this one in a good way, though. Let's really look at it and put a silver lining on it. If you're watching this game, you're thinking, oh, well, Liquid's in the server. This should be a no-brainer. This should be as easy as that. But I don't necessarily see that Liquid in that form in this moment.
I don't either. But, you know, actually, if Liquid are able to 2-0 this, which I think they will, I think it should be a breeze for Liquid. But if Gen.G can make it to Vertigo, I do think that Gen.G should have the edge on that map versus a team Liquid. Surely, I mean, Liquid, they just did beat Furia on Vertigo. We know how proficient Furia is on that map. But Gen.G, they've shown us that they've got the depth on that map. They've actually picked it out in a couple of series in 2020 already. So they're already feeling that sort of level of comfort on this map that I don't think Liquid have.
All right. I can see that. I would actually agree that if we go to Vertigo, I'd give a better chance, a better fighting chance to Gen.G. I'm thinking win conditions right here, and I have to admit that Liquid right now is a giant mystery to me. I'm not exactly sure where to put these players individually. I haven't really seen Stewie leading the ship so far, so I'm yet to discover how they approach the game, what they have changed, what kind of impact that has on them in the game. Now, Gen.G, Mirage, Dust 2 maps where they can bring that double AWP setup if they want to. I think that's one of their biggest strengths, honestly. When you see what Sum is able to do, obviously automatic. Kusta can also have it for sure. So you have a lot of AWP powers potentially, and 2 maps that suit him quite well. It's not the case on Vertigo, but on Vertigo, it's the tactical aspect that I would, lean towards Gen.G. I still believe Liquid has it in the bag, but they've given us enough to doubt. Let's put it this way.
Well, let's kind of also look at this in a different way, right? Because the idea or the sense of a normal in-game leader has kind of transformed. It's kind of morphed over time. And right now we're getting a matchup where you kind of get a taste of it on both sides. We know Daps is a pure IGL. Daps isn't known for running in the server and headshotting people out of existence. But you look over at the Liquid side of things and you think, okay, well, they kind of have their own version of Daps too, maybe?
They do. It's a different version of Daps now with Stewie, especially on this Mirage. I mean, he's really taken over the in-game leader role and he's taken over those op duties, right? So on Mirage specifically, it was Nitro that was the CT window player, ticket player, but now that's Stewie. So I'm interested to see the dynamic on the T side specifically because Stewie's role on this Liquid lineup is so crucial. He's always the space maker, always the guy that's in the face, just buying map control. So what is Nitro going to do? What's his role going to transition into now? So I'm pretty curious about that.
And we're going to pull
up. Sorry.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
No, I just wanted
Maniac,
to touch on Stewie case, and in my head I had this image of Stewie and Apex, and I think these are two cases that are very, very similar. Two players, very aggressive, difference maker, playmaker, kind of emotional, kind of bringing the fire to the team, and now they're put in a situation where the fire is good, but you also have to bring calm, you have to bring serenity to your team, you have to be a captain. So I think that these two experiences are quite similar, and the difficulties that Apex have talked about in the interview, which I think was great, maybe Stewie is about to experience them as well. Become a captain, not being always at the tip of the spear of the attack, but just having a bird eye view of the game. This is a different kind of bargain.
And Maniac, let's go ahead and shuffle that right into some predictions then. Like, I want to see where you guys are, kind of putting your money very quickly, because this one's obviously not easy to call right off the top. So it's very curious. And Christine, I'm going to give you the honor of going first.
Oh, thank you for that honor, Trace. I'm gonna go with Liquid here. I think obviously, of course, it's Team Liquid, right? So I do think that they're gonna close out this series, but I still think Gen.G, they have a shot. They certainly have a shot.
Oh, teetering the line, of course. Let's take a look at what Maniac's got for us.
I cannot find any way to look at you guys in the eyes and say Gen.G will win it. I just don't. I think Liquid will take it. I don't have the arguments. I don't have the ideas. I don't have the theory behind it. Sure, Liquid have shown inconsistency to say the least. They've had bad games to say the least, but still, Liquid.
Yeah. Liquid, straight up. I just got to back the boys. I don't think I've ever wavered on a Liquid pick, and I don't think I'm going to start now. And I think we're going to go to a break. We're going to come back with this game in full freaking force. That's right. The DreamHack Master Spring 2020 continues. When we come back with this break, it's going to be Gen.G taking on Team Liquid. Be with us. Don't go anywhere.
What's up, North American Counter-Strike fans? We got some North American Counter-Strike, and most importantly, the boy of NA. He's over here with me as well. He's going to be sliding in to cast this best of 3. It's Liquid, Gen.G. How you doing, Trey?
Not bad, but I don't think that we should be as close to each other as we are. Here we go. Let's just kind of frame ourselves. You come over this way. There we go. All right, so Harry, what have you chosen for a background today, buddy? What is that?
Today, we got to, and I'll get out of the way so you can see it. Wait.
Yeah, the chair not
It's
in the
a nice
way
deck,
at all.
though. That's not bad. You really do have a nice place there.
Yeah, man, this is just my Minecraft realm right now. Like we're doing good down here. We're just out, we're mining, we're grinding. There's a coal shortage. Like, who knew you couldn't rely on it, right? After all this time. But yeah, man, I'm on the diamond hunt, and I found a diamond in the rough, Trace. You're here, and we have the TriCast back together again.
And the thing is, man, I've been reading on the forums, and people are just hating on our boys, the Scrawny and Launders. I love those guys. So you guys need to take it easy on them, huh? How about that? Now, speaking of TriCast, we did get to do this before, the 3 of us, when you were still here. We were doing the Road to Rio. We did Pro League. Hell, we even did some of this DreamHack Masters together. So this is kind of I think, a good tie-in to what has ultimately been a pretty damn good run, Hugo.
Yeah, it's our first NA game of the tournament as well, Trace, which is what makes it even weirder. That's why we need you. We need the full context. We need that liquid hype. All of it. You've got the knowledge. You've got the energy, and I'm ready.
I did lift the trophy for NA. According to Harry, I'm the boy of NA. I'm not even really sure how to feel about that. I'm not like off put, but it is a strange sentiment nonetheless. Mr. Russell, mind explaining yourself?
Yeah, man. Whenever I think of NA and I think about, you know, like who would represent that in like a very young, juvenile, explosive way, it's Trace Saranthus.
Young
of course,
and juvenile.
You know, like,
okay.
Yeah, and that's just what springs to mind, you know, Trace. This is going to be a great matchup. I love Gen.G as a team, and Team Liquid, they are like the North American team. So, you know, I think this is going to be a great one when you look at it on paper. I love the Gen.G project, what they're trying to do with Quintet and co. I'm curious. So Trace, we know you're leaning the way of Liquid. Hugo, how you feeling?
I'm leaning the way of Trace right now, Harry.
Yeah,
but I think
that's what basically is happening right here. We're taking a 2-shot with 2 people and made it 3, because that's how it works. The trio, I didn't know I needed. But the question still stands, Hugo. Who are you going for?
I think it's so easy to pick Liquid, right? It's just a safe pick. You know, Gen.G for sure, upset potential. That's always there, right? You can never take that away. This team has been really, really good as of late. But as long as the Liquid that I stand behind, the Liquid that I know and love appears today, I think they should be taking this one. It's likely going to be 3 though, Trace. I'm betting the distance.
And I do like the kind of like eerie music we got going into it, right? It's kind of like a Westworld vibe, but not at the same time. Anyway, Liquid, Gen.G, right here, right now, for a lifeline. The lower bracket round of 1, a best of 3, starting on Mirage, going to Dust 2, and perhaps culminating on Vertigo. We're going to continue to show you all about the DreamHack Masters.
I'm really curious. Has an online TriCast ever been attempted before? I don't think it has. So,
or has it ever
we're making
worked?
some history. This is it. Let's get it. Gen.G gonna try and come in with this A play, but do bear in mind that while this has gone on, Stewie has taken up a position in Palace, and so he's behind them. He's just tapping them down. And oh dear, it's a slaughter for Gen.G. Stewie gets away with 3, and he crowns himself as the prince of Team Liquid. He shuts that round down from the Palace. Pistol round locked in for the Liquid boys already.
I feel good to be back in North America, Harry. It has been some time. We've had a lot of EU games, and now we're just back into where things are a lot more explosive, a lot more exciting at times. And Gen.G running at ramp to their own death. It's going to be Liquid taking the pistol, 4 Glocks in the second.
I'm hearing a lot of typing, though.
Yeah?
You know what that usually means, Hugo?
Friendly banter, Trace?
Friendly banter or an incoming restart. It doesn't look to be the latter. Big grenade towards the top of middle. Kusta and Som are going to be tasting that one in the morning. Nap with his M4 is going to peek in tandem with Stewie from the window. Can they find the kills? We've got some players very low. It's going to be Nap that gets the first on the board. Stewie 2K there to help with him. A bit of a jump shot on a Vinted who's coming out underneath. So far, this has just been a wash. Liquid pick up a second round with ease. They make it look easy. And there's not even a breeze in sight. Start to look at this third round of play, and Gen.G are soon going to have some weapons, and that soon is now. Here comes some utility as well.
Everything Gen.G need for this first rifle round. There's no op yet for Liquid. We're keeping things bonus as they have an SMG still in this round, but big upgrades to present themselves if Liquid can find this win. Naf fast up spawn with Stewie in the Palace. The jump almost catches him, but instead he will catch Kusta and take an advantage early for Liquid in this round.
And I do have to wonder, I mean, obviously some of these guys have been former teammates with each other, and you know, everybody's all friends and it's all just banter. But when I look at this game, you got to think about some of the mind games inside of it too, right? There's a ton of potential for that. Molotov comes into the B halls. It's going to stop Gen.G in their tracks. Bentet gaining a little bit of traction here towards the connector and finds a kill onto Nap. He's able to slip right off into the jungle, and that's going to create a big problem twist. Isolated and alone at the ticket booth, holding his ground, hasn't fired a shot yet. They haven't checked him. Zap's checking on the other hand. That's a different story.
Oh, Som does at least put us back into a 3-on-3 with that kill onto Stewie back in CT. Elige is coming in on this rotation, but Automatic has been waiting for his chance to spring out from the jungle. Now, there is a second man here. That's Nitro, who's going to swing and gets that trade, leaves it all onto Som. He's in this 1v2 up in Palace. They tap the bomb, the peak comes on out, and Nitro's just going to swing and deal with it. So Team Liquid, they get that round back under control. They salvage AKs as well. They're going to take 2 of them with them into this next round. Gen.G, they find a bomb plant, and they get into a spot where it feels very, very doable, but it's that double connector presence of Elige Liege and Nitro that kind of blindsides Gen.G.
Yeah.
And leads to Liquid finding themselves a third round.
That bomb spot as well, right? Some should know that, but he's playing from the Palace. That's the one position that, you know, I agree, Palace is a great post plant, but not with that bomb down, as Liquid can just stick it behind the box. He was on 10 health, he had to swing. If it's default, he can, you know, jiggle, he can force shots, he can figure out if they're on it. No, there he just has to commit and win both fights, which he's just not going to do. So Liquid keep up appearances here on the CT side. They keep it a lead, but this is a bit of a B rush here. Gen.G running into the site. Good utility, does burn, and a grenade finds a kill, but surely Gen.G won't be getting out of this one alive. Daps does find a Legion connector, but he's all that stands in this round for the T side.
A Mac 10 kill none the least. Or nonetheless, I guess is the appropriate England for that. But for Daps, there's not very far to go. Twist is going to find his first frag in the game, and round number 4 goes in the way of Liquid. They currently sit 4-0. And right now, this is a stomp. We're going to see weapons come out again for Gen.G. They're going to get another chance at this, another go at grabbing their first round in the series.
The AWP as well, on automatic, right? That's something that, you know, we talk about AWPs in this series, something else that we have a lot of, right? A lot of players that can wield that for Gen.G. Automatic, Som, Kusta. On the other side, Liquid, I mean, I could just start listing almost the entire roster, so we'll leave it out. Gen.G taking things slow in their rifle round, holding onto the middle control. They've got players in the B apartment and Kusta watching for the A side of things. Nothing all too aggressive to begin this one as they see if Liquid want to make any plays or mistakes, neither of which will be the case. And Gen.G, they're going to set up for what looks to be a bit of an A split. At least they're crunching middle for the time being. That bomb can go anywhere. Automatic will likely run back through spawn with that or into the B apartment once Gen.G have a pick and an idea as to where they want to end up.
Yeah, this mid area is looking to be contested right now, and Team Liquid, they're not really in a position to contest it all too much. That's like a two-way street though, right? Because while you're not here like actively, you know, dueling in mid, you're also not giving any of these early picks over to this very, very heavy offensive that Gen.G have here. They try and boost Daps up into the window, but Naf blindsides them from the ladder room. And now Team Liquid, they were turtling down before that kill. Now they're definitely just going to be hanging back in these bomb sites, knowing the pressure is on Gen.G. They've given up connector, but this is very much by design. It's the one avenue of the map that Liquid have just conceded. And so they know this is where Gen.G are going to be coming from. They're set up with a triple hold back in CT to try and shut it down. Automatic, well, he does get one. Nitro swinging from in this bomb site. And oh, it's the hold for the half from Nitro. 4 kills in the round as he turns Gen.G to mincemeat. This A site belongs to him. And Liquid, they're going to take yet another CT round. Nothing on the board yet for Gen.G, and that's not changing anytime soon.
And if there's one thing Nitro knows about, it's going to be Tony Sasheries. I can assure you that, Harry. I promise you. It comes basically from where he's from. And perhaps we'll get him in a post-match interview, and I'll bring it right on up just to kind of confirm it, because I know that everybody's wondering, what is the seasoning? What is the spice that Nitro is using in his life? Double ops out here for Team Liquid. It's going to go to Nap and Stu. Oh, big deagle kill there from Bentet. See you later, Twist. You're going to have to wait this one out. He is eliminated. Actually, probably got his feelings hurt a little bit by that deagle.
Yeah, what's the old saying? Go wait in the lobby, I think.
Go wait in the lobby.
that is brutal from Bentet. So we're into this 5-on-4, and it looks like Gen.G are leaning towards the B bomb site. And you want to know how I've come to that conclusion? They're all over here toward the B bomb site. Nitro, can he hold down the fort? He's put up the first kill. Oh, he didn't spot the man out on platform, but that's because he's gearing up for this fight at short side, and he has just lit up the scoreboard. They do eventually deal with Nitro, but it's a 2-on-3. Still the advantage for Team Liquid as they set up for the retake.
I'm almost glad Nitro didn't get another P2K kill there. Pistol whipping Gen.G back, give them a chance. Bentet, he mollies out to 5, and now he's pushed to the back of the site. Elite should have the drop on him from this angle, but oh, Bentet, he's snuck right below. Same story for Som. Has Elite got any info? Has he seen anything here? Now he has. Som dead, Bentet to follow. It shouldn't be too much of a problem, but he's stalling the shot, and Elite will finally clear it. Very methodical from Elite, taking his time, and Liquid not pushing until he's cleared out every position on the site. I like that one. 6-0 up. They are in full control right now. Gen.G, still loads of money, right? Like they're getting damage, they're getting bomb plants. Bentet finds a lovely kill out ramp in that round, but it's all in vain. It's all for nothing, at least for the short term.
And you think, too, if you're Gen.G, you get that big Deagle kill right there at the beginning of the round. You're thinking, okay, how can we capitalize on this? How can we maneuver around this big frag that has been given to us on the A site? And still, no response. 6-0, Liquid running the board. Naf trying to get an op shot from Connector. He's going to fall off after just one and reposition himself, knowing that Catwalk could be compromised due to the smokes. Now provides a little bit of a vulnerability here for Liquid. They've got to worry about a couple different avenues into this B site.
Gen.G done well by putting Bentet here, right? They just focus all their utility in middle, up cat, in connector, in window, just to get Bentet in this position. And now they can play off the back of that, right? Flash him into shore, wait for him to lurk a kill into the window. But again, as Harry mentioned earlier, this turtle from Liquid, they have a shell on their back and they're hiding in spawn. No one giving anything away. It's a double ramp setup, which does give a little bit of forewarning to Liquid if Gen.G want to split A, and that looks like the case. But, you know, with no one in window right now, that if anything, opens up a world of hurt where Gen.G can come in on a flank.
They're going to need it. Look at this. Go ahead.
Yeah, inside the A site, Stewie's just deleted a man down in the connector. And, oh, he's able to follow up as well. This AWP finding a lot of impact. Naf's come in with one from CT. This double AWP tearing Gen.G apart. It's getting better and better by the minute. 14 Liquid. The flashes are so good. Daps, man, you gotta feel bad for him. He's just stuck on Tetris, blinded, one flash after the other. Stewie is 10-1 right now, and he puts up a stellar hold here. Like, deals with the first man through con, reads that there's probably a player in window, so he's ready for Buntet. And with Naf holding it down from CT as well, this double AWP is deadly on the Team Liquid side.
Trace, you know, with words on the street where Stewie's taking over some of these in-game leading responsibilities. You're someone who's met Stewie once or twice. I think you had to know him on a first-name basis. So, what do you think of that as a change inside of this team?
Well, let me formulate an appropriate response. I'm not on his behalf, of course, but let's see the round play out a little bit. It looks like there's a bit of a stall in the action. For me, Stewie is a player that he grew up watching and participating in traditional sports, which ultimately, I think, significantly helps his leadership ability, right? So if you think if there's a transfer there, if there's a crossover, this is where it needs to shine. This is where you need to see him being that guy that's more than just an IGL. He needs to be a leader figure within the lineup itself. And as we see this round play out, it looks like it's going to be an A lean here from Gen.G. They brought the bomb all the way back over, leaving Twist over here. He's going to have some company, and he's not alone. Stewie 2K with AWP towards Ticket. Hot flash over towards the ramp. Twist is ready for any aggression out of the halls. I think they get the inclination that this is going to be a split on the A site or just a straight up hit, and that's what it looks like. Trace so far going in the way of Elige. He taps down two, holds on for a third, and he grabs it through the wall. Instrumental in keeping this round together for Liquid. And otherwise, well, 4 kills for Elige. My goodness. He makes it look easy.
It's kind of wild. Because it feels like we've seen just like from different people back-to-back multi-kill rounds for Team Liquid. Like it's Elige's turn now to get 4 kills. And in a few rounds time, maybe it'll be Twist's turn. You know, he's been a little bit quiet, but not really through like his own doing. It's just that it's been like a merry-go-round of 4Ks, it feels like right now. And so maybe it's finally Twist's time to shine.
I want to give a shout out to all the players on the server right now. Over in NA, over on the West Coast, it's 9 in the morning right now, and these guys are fragging hard. Right, for Liquid, you know, I know this because Elige tweeted about it last night, but for Liquid, maybe they just want to reschedule everything until 9 in the morning because these guys have woken up on the right side of bed, and while Gen.G, they maybe haven't had their morning monster because they are down 0-8. A solo AK, great shot from Automatic. Elige won't let them get the gun back. He will rid that man of the window. Nice shot from Kusta. The Deagles still making this round interesting.
Yeah, these Deagles are vicious right now for Gen.G. They're looking to put their first round on the board in a 3v3. This is one of the closest attempts, closest chances that they've gotten thus far. Stomp creeping on the catwalk's going to creep right on the Nitro's parade. And that leaves a big problem here. Liquid just 2 players, and Naf and Twist. With Bintet, with the AWP recovered from window room, finds that frag. This one's surely a Gen.G round unless Twist can do something magical.
Yeah, dealing with this AWP is a nice place to start, and he will rid the world of Buntet. Now the 1v2, and we were saying everyone's had a turn to pop off here for Team Liquid, and we were saying that Twist might have one. Well, now this is his chance. He's basking in the limelight, but he doesn't have a lot of time. It's not his friend here. He's going to start to creep on in. Bomb's planted for Apps, and he smokes off short side, so that's going to cause him some problems here. He needs to find these fights. and they're just not going to give it over. There's very little time. Som peeks out at the very, very end. And so Gen.G here in round number 9, they get their first on the board, armed with nothing more than Deegs, no less.
Yeah, it certainly seemed like Liquid, completely forget about the window room after a Liege trades. He dies to A, and then Liquid kind of scramble because they lose a B pick. They try and rotate fast, and Buntet's been reboosted back in that position. I like the how keen Gen.G are to use window against Liquid. It's such a valuable piece of real estate, and ever since we've seen that bench get added, we see less and less teams try and play window. They often move their orb towards CT or just play a rotate. So. Yeah, Stewie, nice jump up on Cat, kills Buntet to start this round. Unfortunate way to begin, but Daps will respond, finding a Liege. Ooh, caught out with his nades in his hands, fumbling grenades and shot down to 20. Naf is about to unroot this entire round. He knows what they're doing, and he's letting them pass. He doesn't want to kill Automatic. Let's see if that comes back to bite a player on the site, as Naf looks to win this entire round off of his patience.
Oh my goodness.
Naf, Naf, no! Not gone well for young Naf there. It's rather nasty affair at hand, and that is unfortunate, Harry.
Yeah, that's devastating, man. He tries to play the trigger discipline, and he has a chance to do so much damage. And like the moment he doesn't get that first kill, that throws everything off. The head dink animation betrays him. He gets caught kind of, like trying to kill both players by just aiming in the middle. And it's that moment of disarray that's given Gen.G a fighting chance. Now the rotations have come in for Team Liquid, and Stewie lands an incredible shot there onto the player getting out of apps. It's all left onto Automatic.
Oh, okay then.
With a Nitro and Stewie. Automatic down to the 1v1. Just twist left to beat. He taps the bomb, baits the peak, and Automatic with 3 secures that round for Gen.G.
Can I just remind you who Naf didn't kill when he had the chance? Not here, but before here. He let Automatic pass so he could flank. Obviously, Naf's not going to know that Automatic's got a 1-on-3 clutch on the B side to win the round. But, that's just a shame to see, right? Naf whiffing his opportunity, and the one man that he let pass kills his entire team.
It's the way she goes, Bubs. Yeah. It's the way of the road. And honestly, for Naf, you're going to be feeling that when you're going to think, oh man, that whole round was my fault. And he looks for vengeance. He looks to get back into the fight eagerly. Takes an aggressive peek here towards the B halls and decides to back out. Not really worth committing all of that time and effort to clearing that with no support and no trades possible. He does back away. Som has dumped some utility there. And so far, just a pretty standard setup here across the board. Pretty much a default, if you want to call it. Mid, though, has been compromised. Daps lingering on the catwalk. Wants to work his way up. And he Liege has his crosshairs on a light, and I'm wondering if he's just waiting for that to change.
So when someone walks past it, the light changes. So you can see if they're boosting, you can see if they're crossing into window, and that's a good bit of info for Liquid there. So using little tricks against Gen.G in this map. And right now, well, they don't need tricks because everything else is working wonderfully. 8-2 up, although back-to-back rounds for Gen.G, and this one will break Liquid. They've already got an armorless Stewie on that orb, so this is a must-win round if they want to keep their economy. Otherwise, this game will get very close very quickly. Liquid holding the line, 30 seconds. Here come Gen.G back through the spawn.
They want to regress A, Harry.
Yeah, they're setting up at Ramp and Palace ready to come in, and they've just left Buntet in the connector this whole time. And the longer he's been there unspotted, the kind of more valuable this position becomes. The Team Liquid start to discount it. While this is happening, Daps is trying to sell a B fake, and he's kept this 3-man hold at B this entire time. This now has to be the go command for the rest of the gang into the A site. Stewie, he always denies the bomb plant, but Buntet has just saved the day. He allows for that plant to come in, but now he's got to go on to win the round. Takes down the first. Buntet tries to re-peek with the orb, but Naf is going to best him in the head-to-head. Team Liquid, that was such an important round to win, and they are able to weather the storm. They'll grab this defuse. They lock in a 9th. Gen.G close, but no cigar.
Yeah, and Hugo brings up a great point about the time of this in LA, right? It is really early there. We're looking at 9 a.m. sort of time zone over there. And at least from my experience, when I used to work with Cloud9, we would always go and try to get a scrim or two, at least in. And we're talking about singular maps before we would go to play an official. And you're not going to find that at 9 a.m. I can find that very hard to believe. And guess what? The only other team would be Gen.G. Yeah. So. Yeah, really unfortunate stuff there, but it is what it is. Stewie2K peeking connector with the AWP, spots player in middle, hits him through a little bit through the wall. But overall, it doesn't matter. The kill's a kill.
Yeah, Stewie has been lights out. You said he needs to lead by example, Trace, and not only has he been leading, but boy, he's been making an example out of Gen.G. 15 and 5, and the A burst again. Twist. Oh, he's flashed for a second, but he recovers well with 2. Looking for a third, but some will trade. Still Liquid with a man up, and that cross being covered by Naf on short. That's going to allow time for these jungle players to rotate. Really good call for Liquid. Naf can tell them if there are enemies in the site, but now he can inform them he's been smoked off, and Gen.G could be anywhere. Luckily enough, Liquid, they have got themselves into CT in time. Som's been throwing the bomb to plant, but Naf could come through this smoke at any point, and he will. Som spots it, Naf doesn't. Naf going above, and Som's going to win that fight. This is going crazy. The AWP at the back of the site, unsuspected by Liquid, and undetected as Elige now stuck in the one-on-one. He's caught at the back. He's going to have to swap out guns. A FAMAS, this is not what the weapon he wants for the clutch, and Automatic is holding his own, but Elige with the jump shot. He will get the kill before he hits a scroll wheel. Luckily, it won't punish him.
You got to imagine in that moment, you're freaking out. You're looking on the ground. God, please let there be some ammunition in one of these weapons. Just any one of them will do. You end up with a FAMAS. You close the round out. Hats off to Elige. He gets it done. And for Gen.G, the problems continue. At least they get a bomb plan out of that round, Harry.
Yeah, at least, right? But like, it's not really much of a silver lining to go off of. They at this point, you know, like the bomb plant's good because it allows a reinvestment, but they don't have the most utility behind it. And you know, at a 10-2 scoreline, they just want the rounds, man. You know, like that's all they want at this point. They're gonna try and run boost Automatic out into mid. Stewie is here, and right now he's given off some simple vibes, so it's kind of terrifying. You know, I don't want to find myself in front of Stewie if I'm Gen.G. Now look to take this window area, but Elige has spotted it from the connector, and he gets that kill. He just backs on out, doesn't give away the trade. So Team Liquid, they ease back into a 5-on-4. And once again, they're just going to turtle up in these bomb sites, not looking to give any trade away. Naf's even got aggressive in through B. This is devastating. Naf once again with a big flank. He's playing the trigger discipline. And this time it can't afford to betray him. He's lit up too. Nade might finish the job. Elige is going to nick it away. And this leaves Kusta 1-on-4. He'll get blindsided by Twist. It's 11 on the board for Team Liquid. They are just running riot in the server right now.
Yeah, Stewie, he's 4-0 in opening duels. He's got 4 multi-kills in this game, just absolutely banging out Gen.G right now. Is there any solution? Is there any response? The fact that, you know, Liquid is still being able to get away with pushes this deep into the game, they're just flanking off of spawn. We've seen Liquid like throw Naf up on that boost close Biats a few rounds now, and he gets very aggressive. I think they're going to do it again. Look at this. Let's see if they do. No, usually Nitro's been crouching here. Luckily, not the case, because Gen.G are going to go faster to beat. The Molotov burns out Kusta. Nitro at the back of the bench, and his teammate getting overwhelmed by the MAC-10. Nitro needs another, but he pushes out from his safety and will finally be finished off by Som. Market control by Gen.G, but the bomb site not for long.
And a bomb plant here for Gen.G. It's going to do something in what was otherwise a round they didn't quite invest too heavily in. So there's some solace there for Gen.G and their fans around the world. Now the retake is on. Liquid looking to do it in the form of Stewie, Twist, and Elige. Som trades in his MAC-10. He picks up an M4, but can't land the shot. It's actually USP from Stewie to get the job done. Now Daps has revealed his position underneath the arches on the catwalk. They need to get rid of him. They need to do it now, and they also need to get on the bomb screen. A big problem. Has Daps clutched it? He has! Almost. Yes, he did. He did it. He runs away with it. And Stewie 2K is not going to be able to get the defuse.
Dancing round the pillar. Look at him go. That was excellently played for Daps, right? He's such a great example of a player that like doesn't have the sickest aim, but just knows what he's doing in every single situation. Perfectly stalls the bomb out just for a few more seconds. Wins Gen.G a third.
Yeah, I was going to say, man, isn't it the most Daps clutch ever that in a 1v3, he manages to win it, not by like killing everyone in some sick fashion, but just by being a nuisance, being a little gremlin and running that clock down.
Really glad someone introduced the word gremlin to us. Twist, being that gremlin right here, has pushed top middle. This is going to be a Liquid affair, and what is the last round of the half? They want to get hyper-aggressive with it even.
Yeah, maybe quit while you're ahead or behind. Depends how you look at it. Liquid are in a 3-on-3, but they've done so much damage to the AWP of Automatic that things are actually okay for Liquid in this one. Naf doesn't have a gun, but, you know, pistol, that's going to be able to one-shot this low HP player. Oh, dear. Stewie, you have flashes on your team. You're not even flashing. You're just dry fighting and winning every single time. Oh, Liquid. This is the Liquid we know and love. Yeah. And Gen.G just relying on Som now for the last of the half.
Yeah, this is a Stewie 2K that said, you know what? I'm going to wake up and play your little game. but I want to go back to bed. So let's do this as fast as possible. And so far, it's Liquid that are speed running Gen.G in the first half of this map. That being the last kill from Stewie. What do you know? He wraps it up there. The first half of play is done. We see 12 on the Liquid side. And then for Gen.G, it's not as great. We're going to go to a break and be right back. I think it's about time to get back into the server, so perhaps that's just what we will do. Stewie 2K, a man that was born and raised in the fire, has brought it today. He has brought the heat to Gen.G. If you see that scoreline at the top of your screen, your eyes are not deceiving you. You do not need to adjust your monitor. You do not need to do anything. It's 12-3. Liquid are running away with it on the CT side. Welcome back, everybody, to the DreamHack Master Spring 2020. I'm Trace, and I'm joined by some pretty cool cats in Harry and Hugo. Unless you like dogs like I do. In which case, I don't really want to call them dogs, but perhaps you guys are a little bit of dogs.
Yeah, I mean, the dog is the fanciest of animals, right? I think that's what we know. And, you know, I would gladly, Trace, you can call me a dog all you like, because
What's up,
that's
dog?
not an insult.
Yo, should I ask you about your up dog?
What's up, dog?
Ha ha! Got him. No, I'm kidding. No, it's not like that.
Wow, you didn't even...
Check out this fun fact, though. Check it out.
Stewie has done 26 utility damage. How? Yeah, I mean, why would Stewie
sense.
be throwing grenades? He's scoped in, or not. He's just got the AWP in his hands. He ain't got time for quick switching trays. He's here to shoot, and he is shooting, tooting, rooting, everything in between. He's 20-7 right now. And yeah, Liquid really running this game into the ground for Gen.G. Remember, this is a lower bracket match. This is an elimination match aside of the playoffs. Both of these teams got one win in the group. For Gen.G, it was over EG, knocking them out in last place. For Liquid, it was over MIBR. So for this is elimination. Liquid need to fight their way through the lower bracket if they want to get to those finals.
And it's funny, you said that word I was looking for, EG, or rather the acronym. When I think about EG and I'm thinking about Liquid here, I'm looking at the Gen.G scoreline currently. We got to see them speed run through the finals of the Pro League of Season 11. And that was Liquid overtaking in a best-of-5 with a one-map advantage on top of Evil Geniuses. Here, they're making it look similar. I'm getting a very similar vibe right now.
Yeah, we've actually called reinforcements in for Gen.G, so we've made Liquid play on the CT side as well, so it's a 10v0. That way, there's no way that Gen.G can't win this half.
I look at it as like this is a nice showing of. Oh, I was gonna say like a nice, we're all NA at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
Like we're all on the same, same team, same fight, but they're not on the same team. Yeah.
But the fight is the same. And we are going to be jumping back into Mirage here in the first map of play of this best of 3. Round number 16. Liquid looking strong as a presence over here in these B halls for this pistol round. Utility dumped. Full send. It looks like they're going to be jumping into this B site with little to no resistance whatsoever. Naf is the only one that gets tagged up, and he's down to 40 while the bomb has been planted. You heard it for yourself.
We had this retake in the Na'Vi phase game earlier. 5-on-5 on B. Now, that is brutal. It was the T's to win it last time. So let's see if that's the same case here for Liquid, if they play their cards right. Twist is trying to get aggressive, and he's netting himself a kill. Nitro follows up, and oh no, the Slaughterhouse. It's right in front of us. Twist with 3, and get him out of here. It's Liquid with another pistol. Add it to the tally. Boy, oh boy.
Yeah. And let's just also dive back into the factoid that we got there on the screen, right? The one thing that we didn't mention that, obviously is important is he has the least amount of utility damage, but is still more than Gen.G. So could someone explain that to me? Does that mathematically equate? Does that come out right to you, Hugo?
Yeah, I mean, these rounds were so fast. Think about it, right? Like, Liquid, even on the CT side, were pushing, were flanking. Gen.G didn't, I don't know. I didn't really see any grenades trace. I guess that's depicted in the reality, but no Molotovs, no HE kills, nothing. So,
yeah, I mean,
it's not the end of the world.
Not to mention, right, you think about how a team like were playing that CT side. There was never like, you didn't really have like window players who you could nade or guys playing, like spots that are common, like molly areas on the A side, right? Like a lot of it was these kind of very, very passive holds where the early utility never really found any damage. I think now Gen.G, we should see that utility damage bump on up now that they're into the CT side, but there might not be much of a CT side left to play if they don't pick up a round sometime soon. Elige and Nitro, they're going to buddy up over here in the ladder room. While this has happened, Kusta hops out the window down into the lower tunnels, and he's actually wrapping into the apartment. Som has found a double over at Catwalk, and this is buying even more time for this apartment's flank to come on in. There's not just one player here. This is where both players are for Gen.G. And Naf, who's at the truck, he's very, very low. He's taking this fight, and he gets his head taken off. Twist, not aware that there's a second man, but Bunte, oh dear, he's missed the shot. He's given up the aim of the game. And now Twist knows that he's arrived from the apartment. Twist secures it with 3 kills in the round. That's 6 kills in the last 2 rounds for Twist, and a second in this half for Team Liquid on the board. 14-3. That force buy, it gets close, but it needed to be a victory for Gen.G because they put everything into that round, and now they're going to eco here. This leaves them with 1 rifle buy up against 15.
And sitting on 3, and awkwardly enough, if Bintet doesn't shoot from the apartments in the halls in that situation, Twist has no idea where that guy's coming from, so
I mean, he would have to drop, right? So eventually, even if he didn't shoot, assuming he didn't kill Twist with his back turn, he's still going to have to drop into the site. Twist would realize eventually.
Some people can do that quietly.
Yes, I was going to say, Trace, that has been patched, but we are not running that patch. But yes, that is true. You can do it quietly. It's a bug. But yeah, no longer. Not after this tournament, at least. We'll never see it again, we hope. Liquid flashing to spawn, getting aggressive and farming the money. Oh dear, body bags and bags of bodies. It's Gen.G getting removed on left, and Liquid, this is map point on Gen.G's map pick.
Yeah, I mean, Mirage, well, we saw it. Wasn't much to see up to this point. And we're going to look at Dust 2 as Liquid's pick going into the next map of the series. And for Gen.G, this can't quite feel that good.
Yeah, I've got to wonder, like, how, see, it's a silly excuse because both teams are playing on from the same region, but maybe Gen.G are tired. Like, this is really, really one-sided. You don't see games like this very often. Like, Liquid are playing excellent, don't get me wrong, but this isn't the Gen.G that we've seen make their way to the playoffs, right? So, first game of the day, hopefully they'll warm up on Dust 2. Right now, they're warming up on the CT side. 3 kills in middle. It's a very loose round for Liquid. They feel like they have nothing to fear, and I don't blame them. So let's see if they can still convert this one. It's Elige essentially clutching on his own, a 1-on-4. He's found the first. Does he know? No. Daps hidden in middle, but Elige, he ain't moving either. Ooh, now he's definitely not moving.
See, is this just delaying the inevitable, though? That's what it feels like, right? That's the sad truth. Like, it's going to be a long while before I get excited for a Gen.G comeback. And honestly, even if, being very, very real, even if they reach 14, like, even if there was a 1 in front of this 4 right now, I still would find myself struggling to say, like, yeah, this comeback's locked in. I don't know, man. There's just so many great individuals for Team Liquid that can step up. You know, not only does it take you not having any like margin for error right now on the Gen.G side, but it just takes like one player on Liquid to go above and beyond. And it's not one of these days where, you know, we're only getting big moments from like maybe a Liege or like maybe Stewie's having a couple of nice rounds. You know, we've had big moments from everyone thus far. And so the odds are just so incredibly stacked against Gen.G right now. I find it hard to be looking at this as a very achievable comeback. I'd love for them to prove me wrong. I'd love for this game to end up in OT, but something tells me we're not going to get there. Let's see, though. Som's waiting up here in the apartments, and he has been having a good game. He shut down this push, and Daps has even caught the bomb over on Catwalk. He's put up another onto Nitro, and Daps has locked this round in from the ladder room. Gen.G, they get the 5th, they get it nice and clean, and they break Team Liquid's money as well.
Left Liquid in a very interesting crossroads right here. They're going to hold on to what little cash reserves they have. So you know what? We'll save it for a rainy day. Imagine some quick play coming out of this round. Naf with a deagle. He's going to go for an aggressive peek here on ramp, and let's see if he can find something with it. Molotov's going to come out. It's going to stop him going too far, but not far enough. Naf is fully committed to this, and he is out.
No idea. They don't have a clue. There's a player top out that he hasn't seen, but they haven't seen him. He can just wait here, and eventually he'll get enough info. Now he knows there's someone at triple. He's seen the grenade, but if Kusa swings or crosses jungle, Naf is going to have him dead to rights. Bentet hasn't made any noise, so Naf doesn't know that he is below a player as well. And Liquid are setting up outside of A, waiting for Naf to get a kill. When he does, and he's spotted a second, they can go, but there's still that player behind him. He whiffs his shot, and Bentet's probably wondering, wait, how the hell did he get under me? I don't know. Now, Liquid, they're just going to commit. It's an eco after all, but they've got nothing.
Yeah, and you know, you hear Naf calming, and you can just imagine him calming, hey guys, you know, I'm out here, I'm underneath the balcony, and it's free, they don't know I'm here, we could turn around and take this easily. But then on the back of not getting the kill, this is all falling apart. Gen.G put a 6th on the board. It was right there for the taking for Liquid, though. Should Naf have found the correct kills, that would have went their way.
Yeah, even one kill could have caused enough like pandemonium that Liquid could have run out. Bentet would have been looking below him, and he would have got overwhelmed on Balk, and then Liquid have 2 guns, and then, you know, we've all seen it. That's how eco wins happen, right? It's a steamroll. It's a snowball effect. It just gets more and more crazy with every kill that appears for Liquid. And well, right now, they look to just put 5 more kills on this board, all in one round. You'd hope that will get them over the line, and that will certainly get them over the line. Stewie, wall bang, smoke, headshot, just warming up, of course.
That was nuts. That wasn't just one smoke that he shoots through. That was the top mid smoke as well as the one-way. And Liege, oh dear, he has just torn the rug out from underneath Gen.G, and they are left slipping, sliding around in the 2-on-5. This A site has fallen, and it's Som and Daps left to try and do the impossible. Som continues his tear. He has been like the one shining light for Gen.G in this map. But is he going to shine bright enough to turn this 2-on-5 around? They've got one man, but will they get any more?
Odds say no. With this positioning, it is an absolute no, Hugo.
Wow. Yeah, not even close, not even a question, and not even Gen.G, but Liquid, they will steal away their opponent's map pick in extremely dominant forces. That's scary, because now we head to Dust 2 Trace, now we head to Liquid's pick, and they've already looked sick, so what have they got up the chamber for us moving forward?
I'm not entirely sure, but I do see that, again, Harry has kind of shifted around his background to sort of pander to an audience, but that's fine. I can't really blame the man at all, really. Harry, anything to say in your defense before we go to a break?
Yeah, you know, like me and Stewie, we haven't always seen eye to eye. He replaced me back at the caches for Team UK. And so ever since then, you know, I've had a hard time looking up to him as a player. But in that series, he just popped off. And it's seeming like he is on some next level form right now. You don't envy Gen.G when this is the Stewie that they're going up against. I think he's made all the difference in this series, and he's still putting out these great numbers. It's a terrifying time to be a Gen.G fan.
Yes, it is. We're going to be going to a break. We're going to come back with, I guess, myself over on the analyst desk. So, be right back, everybody. There's more Counter-Strike coming your way.